Almost every day we hear about the effects of climate change. The damage being caused by the increased CO2 emissions and accelerated greenhouse effect are irreversible. But in reality, how is it affecting our day-to-day lives? A group of our students, which form the Climate Justice Committee, decided to investigate further and to hear the voices of various members from our global community. We conducted interviews with students from our Irish DevEd network and facilitators from our DevEd workshops. We interviewed our Tanzanian partners working on the Climate Justice Schools programme and agricultural workers during our field research trip to Ethiopia. We asked two simple questions. What is climate change? And how does climate change affect you? These are our findings.
Change in the world's climate and climate patterns.
As a change in weather patterns over a particular period of time.
Change in weather patterns over an extended period of time.
Change in weather over a period of time.
It would be, the idea of the pollution, the CO2 from humanity's presence here on Earth with all the factories and power stations, coal burning, fossil fuels, damaging the ozone layer.
Well, we get better summers, it's more sunny, but then again in winter it's more harsh, get colder, worse weather.
On how it affects me, I suppose, because as a development educator and somebody who's working for human rights and for social justice, I suppose it's frustration around making people change maybe something, making governments change, making our society change, and convincing them of our part in climate change and how it affects the rest of the world.
It affects me because I know that in countries like in Africa, they're having longer droughts, but it's not their fault, it's from the emissions from the first world where we are. So I feel like it's up to us to change it. And also in Ireland, we've seen some shocking weather that before would have been seen as rare, and we're trying to figure out what's wrong, but it's actually us that we need to change it.
Because of climate change, we have lost our trees, and this time the trees are thorny trees without a leaf, and because of this, our cattle have nothing to be fed. Most of the time, it is difficult for poor farmers because of the climate change. Our cattle are dead, and those who have the capacity have migrated, and the milk products has decreased. In our area, because of this climate change, the seasonality of rain is changed, and the intensity of the rain is also decreased, and the area is getting hot and dry this season, and this is because of the climate change.
Climate change affects Ethiopia very much. Most agriculture is with rain fed. We don't have much irrigation, and if the rains don't come on proper time, then crops fail, and that implies as almost 80% of the population lives from agriculture. If the crops fail, then it's a very big disaster for the country.
In our Orda, 99% of our Orda is lowland, and in this lowland area, because of this climate change, dry season is increasing and the rain decreasing, and there is also soil erosion, and there is, because of this shortage of rain, there is low production, decreased productivity, and as well the access to water is become difficult.
While having worked with our Tanzanian partners with our school's Climate Justice Committee, I realised we're causing most of the damage to our environment. We use far more energy to heat water, to travel and to heat our homes, while families in Tanzania and other developing countries don't.
This is a team of Tanga Technical Climate Justice Committee. We are doing our level based on climate justice. And Tanzania is highly affected by climate change. Yeah, we can see it through drought, we can see it through flooding and other issues all around. And some diseases also affecting people, like respiratory diseases caused by smoking from the industries and from burning of materials. So we are trying as a school to take control of the waste, especially collecting the waste from the school and doing separation of the waste. Yeah, we are planning to be the role model school in our region and in the country in the issue of climate justice, so that other schools may just come and see what we are doing, and actually they can practice it also in other places.
Climate change was not caused by us, but we are affected by it.
We all know what climate change is, but not everyone realises the impact it has on everyone around the world. From our research, we understand that it impacts on economic development and the basic human rights of people across the globe. The impact of climate change, however, is not experienced equally. Climate problems experienced in developing nations in sub-Saharan Africa are far greater than what we experience in the developed world, yet they contribute very little to our atmosphere. Our energy-rich, carbon-high lifestyles are affecting millions of lives every day. We must take action and be the catalyst for change. Our inaction is costing us our environment, and most worryingly, it is costing us lives. We must work individually and choose more sustainable options. We must work in partnership with the Global South to tackle climate change. We must support organisations that promote sustainable development. We must lobby our local politicians to enact climate change legislation in Ireland. We must also demand that world leaders commit to an international agreement on climate change at the UN Conference of World Leaders COP21 in Paris in December 2015. It is time for climate justice, and the change starts with you.